I don't know if anybody's watching. I don't know what's going on right now. I've never done a live stream. I'm trying to find out what's going on here.
Okay.
Uh, I'm speaking to the video.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, you got me there.
I'm trying to find out what's going on here. Okay, so we are live at this point.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, it's Kevin
I'm
Laverne,
speaking to the
number
video.
15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you got me there.
So we're live on Rumble. This is the first time we've done live on Facebook. We've done live on YouTube. And so now we're live on Rumble because we got chased out of those places. At least I did. And so that's a part of what we're going to talk about here today. Um, it's yeah, we've got a couple things. Why don't you go ahead and say hi, Laverne?
Hi, everybody. I hope you're well out there.
Right. So I don't have any way of tracking, I don't think, what I'm doing. Oh, I do. I have the ability to see myself here. So I've never done it this way. I need third-party software or whatever to make this happen. But I think I managed to make it work despite my TI mind. So here we are. Now, basically, I don't know how much we have in us today because we just spent like 2 hours, 3 hours trying to get this thing figured out. So yeah, it wasn't easy. But really, what we want to do is kind of, it's been since August 18th since we've done a video. We want to let you know that we're still alive. We want to do a new video, but we want to catch you up on what's going on with us because several things have happened. There's articles to cover, and so we need to move our show over to Rumble, and we'll cover why, along the way here. So how about we check in first? How have you been, Laverne? This is actually our second go round. We tried to do this with a Windows camera, and it shut off on us at some point. I'm sure you guys have got that experience before.
Yeah.
So how do?
Yeah, it shut up. I'm sorry, it shut up on us, but we can continue from here.
Right.
So everything's good. Well, I was having a lot of trouble back in August with noise campaign. They really came after me hard, and it was like almost every day. They do crazy things upstairs. I live in an apartment complex, and they stomp around, and at the same time you would hear motorcycles outside,
Mm.
um, revving up their bikes, and they're just doing everything to get on my last nerve. They were trying, but I just you know, holding on and being strong, and then all of a sudden it stopped.
Mm.
Why? I don't know, but I'm glad it did. But then the quietness became the problem. It was almost like I was so used to the noise that when it became quiet, it didn't, it felt almost spooky.
Right.
It was a spooky kind of quietness.
Yep. That's like I said the first time that's that Hitchcockian suspense. You know.
Yes.
And then they've got you like on a Pavlovian sort of a reaction thing. They love to they're fascinated with the idea of bypassing consciousness for whatever reason. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what's happening there. But on top of it, they're sending scripts to your mind to make you sensitive to it. That's where the suspense is coming from. Instead of actually having somebody there with a motor, what they're doing is they're sending scripts. Whenever you would think about something, they're rerouting that thought to whatever it is that they want you to think about, which is the paranoia of them coming with their motors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So.
Yeah, but I just had things have been pretty quiet. I needed a little support from different arenas or platforms or people, and I got that. And they told me just try to enjoy the peacefulness while it lasts because they will be coming back again. It's just a matter of time, and I'm very much aware of that. So that's what's been going on with me.
Yeah, good. I mean, that's well, part of it is good and part of it is bad, isn't it? I mean, we're like we said, it's damned if you do and damned if you don't. So I think
Yeah.
we're sort of in the same situation whether they're doing something or not.
Right, right. And
So,
that's what they're trying to hurt me with.
okay,
They know I'm doing it again if I don't. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. So, but I'm a strong Christian, and he's brought me out of these type of situations many times. And I'm sure there's going to be another time he brings me out of it. So I'm not so worried about it when it happens.
good, good. So I guess will catch me up. It's, my
Yeah,
health, what they've done to my health is always uh, strange. I mean, there's been patterns. What they do is they attack me pretty hard in the morning these days. Of course, I still don't get much sleep, and it's still divvied up over a period of time. But I think I've been getting more sleep lately than I was before. Um, Now, for the past couple of days, they've allowed me just to chill out. Most of the time, they put me in a position where I get to work. And I love to write. And so I write several articles a day normally. But a lot has happened. And one of the things that occurred was I got kicked out of a specific group. Now, there was this group on Facebook that we used to do videos, live videos in the group, and it worked. For both us and the group, we brought people in to witness the thing, and that ended up staying, and they gave us a place to kind of put the thing on and supported us a bit. So, but I made it clear that there were efforts to try to control us the whole time, and I wasn't going to do that. And I saw a lot of behaviors that I didn't agree with. I knew it was a matter of time that I would get kicked out because I wasn't going to be submissive. And I wasn't, and that's eventually what happened. What it was the whole time that we were doing the live show from this place. The place is on Facebook. It's Targeted Individual Connections headquarters. And what it was we did the show, several shows from there live, and I would advertise in the other groups, the other targeted individual groups, with very ingenious, eye-catching ads, and to bring people over to watch our show. And then they would do that and then stay, and so they benefited a great deal from us. Well, I decided to advertise my own little tiny group of 20 members, and that's something I guess they don't allow, so we were gone. I didn't even get a notice. Immediately, Facebook jumped on top that with it and basically kept me, banned me from being able to post in any group. And then at the same time, there was a noticeable shift in my targeting, and my handlers, if you will, started acting like doofuses,
yeah,
as if they had some sort of a victory, which they absolutely did not. But it's just a change. It's just a shift. And so I've got probably a bigger audience now than I did back when they had me in the position of being able to control me on Facebook like idiots that they are. They shot themselves in both feet. And now they don't have that. Now I'm freelance, and I'm out using these platforms that they don't have as much control over. So there you go, you sub-genius.
exactly.
So, anyways, that's what happened there. So I had to get up out of there. Now and we never got any views over at Facebook. At YouTube to begin with. There was already, they were already shadow banning us. So we're over here at Rumble now. We're happy to be here. I knew I should have been here to begin with because it believes in free speech. I mean, what the hell? So then also over at Gab, I moved over to Gab. From now, it's not great, but I'm sticking with it. Damn it! And I'm gonna. There's a couple of groups there, and I started one myself. It goes by the same name as this channel, the Targeted Individual Discussion. If you want to join me over there. Also, there's a Quora group by the same name. I'm trying to make a community. And so I do a lot of writing, and so I put a lot of that stuff up on WordPress and Facebook. And Substack. And then I'll put the links up at the various sites, the ones that'll still have me. But that's what's going on there. Now, we had planned maybe just to kind of do an introduction here, but I think that we've got an article in us. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I think it's about time for an article.
Okay, so we'll move on to one of the articles that we had planned, because the way that I do it is I'm self-sufficient. I discover I pick the the topics. I write the articles myself. I publish them, and then I do videos on the published articles. And so, most people, I don't think they do it that way. But with us, it's all in-house. We handle it all, which makes it really nice, to be honest with you. So let's refer to one of the two articles that we had intended speaking about. The first one was a response to being kicked out of that group. It takes no prisoners. It's sort of a scathing sort of a situation. It's called Power as a Magnifying Glass. I will include the links to these articles in the description. This was the first time we've ever done this live. We don't know what we're doing. I promise to be better prepared next time. But they'll be there for people who encounter the video when it's in its recorded, fashion rather than just live. And I apologize for that, but we'll do better. So, but you can find it on my WordPress. If you look at any of the other videos that we have up, or just look at, you can find my WordPress through. I have it linked up to just my Rumble account. So about, I think it is, something like that. You'll be able to find it. It's the top story, easily found. So it's called Power as a Magnifying Glass. It is not the top story. I'm sorry. It's a little bit further down, but you'll recognize it when you see it. It has a magnifying glass and something that you'll recognize. Yeah. So yeah, Power as a Magnifying Glass. I'll continue. The lens that reveals true self. I spent time working inside a group, making banners, making live videos. I would advertise in other groups for a show I was doing in their group, and I worked hard at it, bringing people from outside into their circle. They never mentioned a problem with cross-group advertising when it benefited them. Then I advertised my own little 20-member group, and they kicked me out. On the surface, it's petty, but to me, it revealed something deeper. Power, even the smallest scrap of it, acts like a magnifying glass aimed at a person's true nature. The pattern, this wasn't the first time I'd seen it. It wasn't even the first time I'd seen this behavior in this group. I actually watched a person get kicked out of what was labeled a research chat, one I was supposed to be running, for a minor disagreement. A TI, she had a different opinion, and that was enough to be excommunicated. A scientific-based chat. I'm sorry, that's not how science works. That's how modern science works. And here's the kicker. I know this person who got kicked out a bit, and she's wonderful. She appears to have as much or more in the way of worthwhile qualities than some massive groups have in their entire membership. Give someone a sliver of authority, and what do? Do they use it to help, to build, to support, or do they tighten their grip, turn petty, and mirror the very behaviors we associate the perps with themselves? Yeah. Reflection. So the leader of that group would have my voiced silence over some perceived slight. His whim of the moment was put before marginalized TIs themselves, before any real consideration for them. And of course, it's not just him, is it? There are plenty working under his lead, and by staying, they sign off on this kind of censorship. Maybe, or it might be that it was me that rushed to judge in this instance. Early on, I saw the targeted community through the lens of pure injustice, and I reacted. I wanted to believe that if someone was targeted, then they must be on the side of truth. But time changes perspective. The injustice is real, but the community is more complicated. Some stand tall, some crumble, and some simply trade places with the perps. A momentary lapse of reasoning is one thing, even sustained foolishness that eventually recognizes itself. But a culture built around seeing TIs as cattle is not the way. The realization, as I said, I had seen the behaviors, I knew they were beneath me. I also knew the day would come when we would go our separate ways, since I don't give in to tyrants. And after seeing what they were and staying, I suppose I was using them too. I was sharpening my voice, testing material, pulling in the people who resonated with what I had to say. It's an imperfect world we live in, and sometimes God uses even the selfish for our benefit. And that's the real gift. Once you see how people act with a little power, you know exactly what they do with more. It's an old idea, but it still holds true. Power is best placed in the hands of one who doesn't want it. When you see the power hungry, beware. This too at a time when it was well known that Facebook itself was shadow banning me, censoring me to the extreme. Some quick math here. It was me versus the perps, Facebook, and power-hungry group leaders. That's quite the army assembled there, all in agreement, I see. They saw allies in each other. The business of targeting, TIs are big business, not just for perps, but for other TIs. There are always some who lack the morality to steer them away from taking advantage of their own. It's a harsh truth, but explains a lot of what we see. Groups that don't build, they harvest. They mirror the perps, not because they're the same, though clearly in some of the worst ways they are, but because they've chosen the same logic, exploitation over integrity. At some point, one would be forgiven for questioning if there isn't some sort of agreement hammered out between some group leaders and perps. Why wouldn't the program put someone in a position of power like that? Start the group, make TIs feel warm and fuzzy when encountering it, cult formed. This is why standards matter. When you watch closely, consistency tells you who's real and who's running a hustle. The standard we deserve, as TIs, we deserve to have our best interests first, not financial margins, not power plays. If you find yourself around those who display this kind of behavior, I strongly recommend that you run away. You may not believe in yourself, but I do, and I know you deserve better than to be used by these types. This article is not meant as revenge. There is no need for it. These people don't know how to live right. They hold the unimportant to be important, and there is no path to happiness there. Just one more thing. The TI program has the power to transform or reveal. I've seen people grow closer to God and walk in his steps because of the experience. And I've seen others either not change at all or rapidly foster their pathology, missing the big picture entirely. We see who has the capacity for selflessness, for transcendent living in these unfavorable conditions. While there is life, there is yet hope, and I pray for the still lost. So there it is.
Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah, it's
That's an excellent article describing the things that need to be said.
yeah. I don't get angry. I get articulate. So that's what happened there, and yeah, I don't know if the people, the right people, the people that needed to read it or not, doesn't matter to me. But it is something that we need to watch out for because this group that I'm speaking about already is volunteering to take on a hive mind type mentality, the very mentality that the perps are trying to put on us. There's too much in the way of coincidence, for me to be able to believe in it. So, that's where I stand on that one. Truth above all else.
Yeah.
What do you think about it all, Laverne?
I think it's a great article. I think it's great that you're the first thing that you want to do is protect the TIs. And anytime you find a flaw, you gotta speak up for it. If you see somebody not in line with that, they're gonna have to deal with you. And I just agree. I stand behind you 100% on your rebuttal, sort of speak to the H2 group. Again,
Thank you.
100%.
I thank you. I'm very grateful for that. That means a lot. It's a shame that the things have to go like that.
Yeah, it is.
But whatever, power, business, money. I mean, that we shouldn't be seen that way, and that's just all there is to it. And I'm not gonna bend on that one. So, so I think that we covered that one pretty well. I think that gives us a little bit of time. Let me see how much time we've got. I don't know how to read this thing because I'm doing this differently now. So I have no clue how long we've been doing this. Oh, 19 minutes and 23 seconds according to this. So let's see if we can squeeze in another article. This whole show, you guys, is not how we normally do things. I'm calling out that group in the first article, and I'm calling out the targeted individual community as a whole in the second one. Both of them are a little brutal. Now, you need to know that for the longest time, I was really sort of just a beneficial source, just very calm and rational, and I still feel that I am, but I've kind of gotten to the point where a little bit of my patience is gone, and I don't suffer fools as well, and I'm answering a bit more curtly than I used to, and I just need to get the job done. That's what matters. And so, my essentially this article that I'm about to read poses the question: where do you fit in the division of labor that is known as lead, follower, get out of the way? Pick one.
Right.
Pick one that you fit in best, and please do that. So let's bring this article up. It's called. That is not what it's called. It is called TI's Will We Tread Water or Win? A Challenge to the Community. Now that one is located on the top of my WordPress. Period.
Right.
So we'll get cracking. Do you have that one up?
I haven't.
Okay, I did send it to you. TI's Will We Tread Water or Win? Yeah, I guess you don't have to, but yeah.
I know.
All right, so I've said the title enough. I'm going to move on to the introduction, how survivors are kept busy. Now, realize, you guys, I don't usually write like this, but, I'm trying to show you what I think that we need to do as a group rather than just go in circles. And if this, I'm not trying to become a Mr. Popularity out of this. All right, if you guys want to hate me, that's fine. You don't want to follow me, you don't want to read my stuff, that's fine. Instead, be me, okay? Do the things that I'm doing. Take this information. Don't just repeat the same sort of stuff. Take a look at the pattern. What is it you're seeing? You know what I mean? Document. It'll go through it. So, how survivors are kept busy. A strange paradox exists in the targeted individual community. Survivors are some of the most active, most engaged people online, constantly digging through patterns, sharing symptoms, and debating theories. The energy is real, the effort is real, and the time invested is enormous. But step back and you'll see the trap. The appearance of work without the power of results. Many dedicate themselves to platforms and leaders that do not serve them. They embrace hive-like mentalities designed to corral and contain. And when information of real value appears, it is often ignored, drowned out by recycled material that feels easier and safer. The illusion of work, the pattern is everywhere. Hours spent cataloging technology, screenshots of patents stacked up like trophies, endless group debates that circle the same arguments, story after story of abuses, symptoms, and suffering, but rarely moving towards strategy or coordinated action. This activity feels productive. It keeps the mind occupied. It creates a sense of solidarity, but it rarely leaves the bubble. It doesn't shift policy. It doesn't change laws. It doesn't alter public perception. Even the most popular TI podcasters fall into this same pathology. This is why they are allowed to operate. Those that work outside this dictum are shut down, and it's never noticed or questioned by the community somehow. TIs gratefully accept the B-grade material the perps toss them, and it's sad to see. Allowed shows recycle the same information again and again as though repetition itself were medicine. It may comfort for a moment, but it doesn't heal, and it doesn't advance. Spoiler, it isn't sufficient aid. This is not to deny that some documentation matters. Technology is worth noting when it leads somewhere, but obsession without endgame turns into something else, a ritual, a cycle, a way to fill the time until death rather than a path toward life.
No.
Results still exist. Meanwhile, measurable results do exist outside the bubble. Policy shifts, however small, they change the playing field. Scientific recognition. Peer-reviewed research has begun to crack open the conversation. Journalistic coverage. Some reporters are listening and publishing. Legal precedents. Scattered, but real, and capable of ripple effects. Public perception. A headline, a documentary, a testimony, all capable of moving the needle. These are cracks in the wall where energy, focus, and persistence can make a difference. The reflex of control. It starts with recognition. Without recognizing what's already been done, no progress is possible. A TI messaged me recently, attempting to coach my contributions and direct how I should do them. I asked a simple question: what have you provided? What came back was silence. I've written around 100 articles for TIs. Along the way, I've added to critical thinking tools humans have to work with and created mechanisms significant enough to get me in a heap of trouble with the perps, let me tell you. There are more on the way. But in that moment, in that text, the ethic wasn't gratitude, it was control. That reflex, the need to dominate a source of original material, mirrors the very pathology the program thrives on. Practicing what I preach. I don't just regurgitate the same information. My work has sprung directly from what I've seen and what I've judged necessary to move forward. For example, in subliminal conditioning and its uses, I reported on a technology I hadn't seen covered elsewhere, devised a potential countermeasure, and presented it. In one reset at a time, I addressed the daily emotional battles of TIs, offering suggestions proven to be effective. In eye tracking as a digital marker, I highlighted cost-efficient ways to generate evidence of targeting. In the comedic orchestration, I explained how comedy reroutes signals in the brain, working both in the moment and with lasting effect. In the cartography of human influence, I created a framework that systematically maps the ways the body and mind can be affected, a tool for intelligence gathering and strategy. In murder by proxy, I named responsibility in end-of-life cases involving TIs, refusing to let silence mask accountability. All these are available on my WordPress. These are not repetitions of the same old material, but attempts to push forward to make use of what we know instead of circling it endlessly. And yet I don't have much of a following. You do the math. From Peter Pan to grown man under targeting. What else am I to do? I see things, I see they aren't spoken of, I see they are important. What would you have me do? No, the division of talent is not uniform, and that is not appealing from any position in the conversation. Oddly enough, the conditions of the targeting program gave me what I needed to grow. Not their intention, I can tell you, but then I've grown quite skilled at spinning their efforts into gold. A challenge to leaders and survivors. These examples aren't shared to elevate myself, they're proof that the next step can be taken. The question is, will others do it too? I challenge both the so-called TI leaders and every survivor in the rank and file. Take what you know and do something with it. Don't just repost. Don't just debate. Create, build, write, test, document. The program thrives when we mistake activity for progress. But every time someone makes something new, a strategy, a framework, a piece of evidence, a method of coping, the program loses ground. The fruits of spirit. Those who carry the spirit are easily seen. Ye shall know them by their fruits. We know them, and we know the others. In a world of manipulation, that clarity becomes a compass. Technology exposes what's inside, but so does behavior. It's not hard to tell who is working toward freedom and who is simply feeding the loop. For instance, are you being welcomed by these people in the way that Christ would have? Is their religion seen by them as a selfish thing that allows them to judge, or has it done the opposite and turned them into beautiful, non-judging, loving, and accepting people? The scripture I quote tells us to look for the signs. We can also improve, excuse me, I'll take a drink of water here. We can also improve our recognition of ourselves. Know thyself, Socrates said. And the 12-step groups remind us self-knowledge is not enough to save you. Both are true. Knowing ourselves can't carry us the whole way, but it can't hurt, and it's a start. Because can we know anything at all without first knowing ourselves? Note your practices, your motivations. See if scrutiny shows us to be on the right track, because it isn't just us, is it? There are children being targeted, making my plea here one of a responsibility higher than you owe to yourself. So can we find it in ourselves to overcome a falsely imposed moment of distaste in order to do what we consciously recognize to be the right thing? If not, maybe we are getting what we deserve.
Excellent.
It's a little brutal. I had to take the gloves off. Look, you guys, I've been like too nice about things. It doesn't get any results. You know, I mean, I don't know what to do at this point. You know, people just want to keep doing the same stuff. You know, we need to organize. We need to do something different. And I've sort of had it with that crap. You know, I really have. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I mean, maybe you can sense it. I'm frustrated.
I know.
I'm frustrated with the TI community, the way that they're being. You know, look, and another thing is that the biggest thing, you know what it reminds me of is the line from Steely Dan, you wouldn't even know a diamond if you held it in your hand. The things you think are precious, I can't understand. They elevate people that have no value whatsoever and don't see any value in the gold that passes before them. It's like, what's going on there, man? You know?
I know.
And there are easy ways to determine these things. You know, is what you're reading from this person something new? Or is it just regurgitated, reorientated, information that's kind of been around and circled around? You know, what is it they're getting at with this? And then I think it's important for everybody to have a voice, though. Don't get me wrong. If you're Joe Sixpack and you're a TI, then start a channel, man, because we want to hear you. I don't want to be saying I'm putting the wrong message out there. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. You start a channel, dude, and I will be following it, and I'll be watching your videos. That's all you need to know from me. Yeah, so it's more about recognizing where we fit in best, I think, and organizing essentially. Now, organization can be very tough, but organization can come in many different forms. And there's a historical, a whole history of humanity to choose from. Organizational skills and abilities and different methods have been studied and developed to an extreme degree. This would be easy to study and come up with the answers, to be honest with you. So. That's what I've
Yeah.
got. Yeah. What do you think about that one, there, Laverne?
Oh my gosh, I think you just about said it all. My goodness, where do I start? I've seen it too. I've gone to different platforms and chat rooms and TI chat rooms, and I've seen the same um, text over and over again, and I wonder, so what's going to be done about it? When are we going to come together and make a difference and move up a notch? And our even the I really applaud the TIs who go to the we get together and meet in different places to make awareness of what's going on and everything. And I think that you came out with the most accurate categories here to read about, like the challenge to leaders and survivors and other ones. Peter Pan, I wanted you to sort of give me more detail about that. From Peter
Well,
Pan to
hold on to that thought because they're going to make me forget this. I was speaking to somebody or answering somebody on Facebook yesterday. I think it was yesterday,
uh-huh.
and they're of the opinion that there's nothing that can be done, that the victory is already in place. And so I answered back, first of all, you're never going to get me to believe that, and I know better. And the reason that I know better is because even with the addition of synthetic biological intelligence, which is the combination of computer chips and human brain neurons. They're trying to bridge the gap between humanity and computers. Even when that's taken into consideration, they're still a long ways away from the height of human creativity. Not only that, there are other methods of moving communication around from person to person that I developed. That essentially, because basically the human mind is capable of a lot more than we give it credit for. There are the Muslims, for example, many of them memorize the entirety of the Quran at some point in their lives. So what this means then is that we have capacity to be able to handle this should we need to, and it's just a matter of doing the things. We can be very lazy, but that's being enforced upon us. We have to kind of light a fire under our posteriors and get moving and get going.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's nothing we can do, you guys. I've been there too. They've had me down and out, and there's nothing I can do. So believe me, if you're there, I understand. I'm not trying to point a finger at you. But if we have the ability to do something, let's do it. That's all I'm saying. And if all you can do is watch, then thank you for tuning in. Because we're out here trying to, do what we're doing for you guys. Now, I do this stuff all the time, and I get tons of punishment for it. Just so you guys know, they come down hard on me for this. And then when I don't write for the TIs, they back off. So, this comes with a high price, but I meet it. So there we are. And now you were talking about Peter Pan. Essentially, when I started doing this writing, they pulled me away from playing video games. I was being a child still. I hadn't really grown up. I hadn't fully matured yet. And so they pulled me away from that and they stuck me in the middle of this. And just the way that I am, I'm not trying to brag, but I always end up getting pushed up into a leadership role. And that's ended up happening here as well. I'm just best suited for that. And so,
Yeah.
I started trying to creep in and find my place, and the next thing you know, here I am. And so, but they didn't realize what they were taking on. I have a very, I'm very capable. Let's put it like that. Over time, the Rumble crowd will kind of catch on to what I'm talking about. We'll jump. I don't like talking about myself, basically. I don't like discussing
Yeah.
it. That's something you'll find out. I really, really don't like to do it. I don't know why. It's just that I don't know if people believe it or not, and I'm not lying. And so, what do I care about your opinion for anyway? So let's just skip the whole thing. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. I mean, the stuff is going to work whether you believe it or not. So I don't need approval. But
Right.
yeah, I'm in the end, I'm extremely capable. I'm one of their worst freaking nightmares, I can tell you. And I've been nothing but a pain in their ass. I'm sure at this point they wish they'd have just left me playing video games. So, but what the Peter Pan thing was, I matured. The being put into this situation forced me to mature and grow up completely, and leave all that childhood stuff behind.
Yes, yeah. And my gosh, matured in a very way that it seemed like you just all the information was just in your head and it just came out, in a beautiful way. I think as far as the articles goes, and you've done a damn good job. And like you said, you've suffered for yourself. When when you start writing, the targeting gets worse. And you suffer for us, and look at the things that you got.
I hang in there, and I don't usually say anything about what I'm going through until I think that maybe it's towards the end, like the end is
Mm-hmm.
in view, and then I change things. I change my behaviors. I start preparing for it. I start
Yeah,
rushing in what it is that I can do. I try to figure out how much of it, how long I'll be able to hold out under the current level. And then I create, what I do is I create a plan for that period of time that I deemed that I'll be able to hold on for. And then I start trying
yeah,
daily to do what I have in that plan. So far, it hasn't ended, the way that it could have. But this is the way that I go about things. I do. There's an article I have out there. It's called "Murder by Proxy." It's a bit of insurance. It calls out how when TIs commit suicide, they're not doing that at all. It's murder by proxy. They put TIs into so much pain that they look for
mm,
ways to end it immediately. And I understand that because they did it to me. And I wrote about that in an article that has to deal with psilocybin mushrooms, actually. You can find it on my WordPress. Um, but yeah, they pushed me to that degree. So I completely get it. All these people, I would never commit suicide. You're right, but murder by proxy is something that absolutely can happen to any one of us. None of us are too tough for this. I can, if I look, I'm sorry to put it like this, but if I'm not too tough for this, you aren't either. Okay.
mm,
So it just
good
there's
way to
just
put it.
yeah, there's just no resisting this. So and I wouldn't want this to happen to you anyway, of course. But I mean, that article is important. So why is it important? Because I've attached my name to that article. So if they force me into that situation, my name and that article come back up again as a single item. Murder isn't he the guy that wrote Murder by Proxy? Because look, it's published at various locations. It's been copied and put up at the Coalition Task Force, and I have it put up at various other locales. And so it's something I'm trying to. So if you see it, pass it along, man. Because it's important too, because it calls out. They try to. Man, it's freaking. If you read it, I don't want to get into any, but it's deep and it covers a lot of important aspects about about that scenario.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to reading it again, and
yeah.
I thank you for all that you do, Kevin.
Well, thank you, Laverne. Thanks for sticking it out. I mean, we've known each other to the Rumble crowd. We've known each other for several years.
Yeah.
We've been talking on the phone that whole time as friends, and
Yeah.
she lives over up north and east, and I live over west, and so it's just a phone conversation, and then or sometimes
Yeah.
I've actually never seen a picture. I've seen pictures of her from the old, but I've never seen video of her. which is a strange thing. It adds to the mystery, let me tell you.
Yeah, but I'm gonna start doing the videos.
Well, there's video of me everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's
I
on
know.
YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's on Rumble now. So nobody wants to see that. So, but
uh,
yeah. So this seems like a pretty good stomping moment. Will next time I'm going to add the links. I'll be more prepared next time now that I see how this works. So thank you to everybody who tuned in. Um,
yeah, I do thank you as well.
And God bless the TIs. I want to make this a community. I want to tune into your videos, so please let me know when you put one up. When you're doing a live event, I want to be there and I want to watch it. We're serious about this, okay? And we want to bring us all
Okay.
together. So, God bless everybody and take care. We'll see you guys next time.
Okay.